Hi guys, I'm Shayda. Thank you so much for 80,000 subscribers. That number is crazy. I can't even believe that it's real, but it is real, and because it is, we're doing a giveaway. Thank you to Sakura America for sending me this amazing prize pack. You guys are going to want to win this. I want to win this. There's brush markers and Pigma Micron fine points and brush pens and jelly roll pens and a notebook and a pencil case and stickers. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how you can win it, and we're going to do a little shadow font tutorial as well. So let's get started. So I'm going to start today by showing you how I do this simple shadow font, and then we'll get into the giveaway details at the end of the tutorial. Alright, so I've started with a thin, almost modern looking bubble letter, and then I've just added this little shadow on the left hand side of each letter. And because the shadow is attached to the letter, and because it doesn't form this very precise block letter, it's a very simple, almost foolproof shadow font. And especially if you just keep it on the left and you don't try to go on the top or bottom, it's very, very simple and a great intro to shadow fonts. Okay, and then I'm going to be using my Pigma Microns, pretty much everything from the 03 down to the 005, so all the smaller nibs in the set, and that's just going to give me a lot of control and precision. Okay, and then I've done part of my design here in pencil, and I'm going to finish it on camera. So I'm writing the word super duper in front of 80K, and I've laid down a height and a baseline for each word. And that just gives me a guideline for where each letter should start and stop. And as long as most letters hit those lines, these words are going to look really uniform. And notice I didn't use a ruler to do that. You can totally freehand your height and baselines, especially on a whimsical piece. And you're going to be a lot better off doing that than if you let your words sort of get smaller at one end. And here's how we start these letters. So I've just written the letter A, or printed the letter A, and then I'm going to round it with a pencil and just using the printed letter as a guideline. That's one option, and then you can go over that in pen. What I prefer to do is just print my letter, and then I go right away with the pen, so I sort of skip a step in there, but it's totally up to you. And I use that printed letter as my guideline, and I just go around it with the Pigma Micron, and here I'm using the 03. Okay, and then I'm just going to keep going here and carefully and slowly go around each letter and just sort of trust the letters, the printed letters that I've laid down, just work around them. And a couple things that I'm watching for, I want to make sure I'm leaving at least a little bit of space between each letter because this is a shadow font, so we're going to need room for that. You know, you might find that you've printed your letters a little too close together, and as you start doing the outlines, you need to erase and sort of reassemble, redesign it. That's fine. Just make sure the letters stay pretty much the same distance apart and that you've got a nice bit of space between each one so that it doesn't become a problem when you go to lay down those shadows. And then as I go to the bigger letters here to do the 80K, I'm not really changing anything. I've obviously done some larger print, but I'm still going around them in the same manner. So size is not really a factor here, and I'm just speeding that up and finishing that. And then I'm going to erase everything, get rid of all my pencil marks, and now I can add my shadow. And this is how easy the shadow portion is. You're just really just adding a little thickness to the left-hand side. You're just going to sort of go along the side of the letter and just carefully thicken that line. I like to do a line that sort of curves out slightly, especially on the outside of the letter. And you want to be careful with anything that is curved, whether it's curved in or out, like the S there. There's going to be a portion where there is no shadow. And if you're struggling with where to put the shadow, I suggest looking up alphabets online. But it's also a bit of common sense as well. I think it's sort of what would you see if this was a three-dimensional object? What would your eye be able to be able to take in. And some people are better at that than others. So don't feel bad if you're sort of like, where does the shadow go? Because I can't always get it. But you're just going to add that little bit of darkness on the left-hand side of each letter. So anywhere there's a left part of a letter, so a U would have sort of two parts, whereas something like an I would only have one left-hand side, if that makes sense. And that's a little closer. And then what I'll do is I'll go back in with my Pigma Micron, the 005 or the 01, the really small nib, and I'll just touch up these shadow lines and make sure that they're very precise and looking just the way I want them. And you can see here on the 8, I start with 2 points. So I sort of have an idea of where I want that shadow to stop, and then I draw a curved line out between those 2 points, and then I just have to sort of fill in that little space that I've created. And then on the inside of the rounded bits, I'm just filling in, just adding a bit of thickness. And I'll just speed this up and you guys can see what it looks like when it's all done. All right, now that that's finished, I'm gonna get rid of any lasting pencil marks, and I'm just gonna add my usual, the simple hand-drawn border, and this is done by pulling your pen towards your body so that you can create a sort of straight line, that perfectly imperfect straight border. So just move the pen towards yourself. It's a very natural motion, and it's easy to keep it steady and straight. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys will give this style of shadow hand lettering a try. And now let's talk a little bit about this week's awesome 80K subscribers giveaway. All right, guys, I want to say thank you so much for helping my channel to reach 80,000 subscribers. Sakura America has generously provided me with this awesome prize pack that you guys can win. It includes Pigma Microns, brush pens, a set of koi watercolors with a water brush, watercolor brush markers, a notebook, a pencil case, stickers, and some jelly roll pens too. If you would like to enter, all you have to do is go to my Instagram, make sure you're following me, and then find this photo and tag 2 friends in the comments below it. International entries welcome, and the contest closes Thursday, March 23rd at 6 p.m., and I'll choose a winner at random. Good luck, and don't forget to subscribe.